HCC, it's great to be with you for another daily Devo in the book of Philippians. And we're in chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. This is what Paul writes. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. Man, that is a lot packed into 2 verses. And in the midst of the imperative verbs, in the midst of the examples, when I was rereading this passage, I kept coming back to really what everything hinges around, everything's tied to, and that of humility. Humility is the central thrust of that set of verses. And as you read back over it, one of the things that we realize is humility is often deeply misunderstood. It often has this sense of just thinking really badly about yourself. Those are humble people. And I would tell you, I don't think that's a good biblical definition of the word. While this concept does stand in contrast to someone who is arrogant or prideful, that much is true. I don't think it means its true meaning is the opposite of the pendulum, someone who thinks that they're worm food. So on the other hand of that, let me give you a couple great definitions. One of my favorite definitions is from C.S. Lewis about humility. He says, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. I just think that captures the essence so well. Another one that I've appreciated for a long time from our own Pastor Tom, he would define humility this way: aligning your view of yourself with reality. Just simply having good self-awareness about all of who you are, not thinking of yourself too highly and not necessarily thinking of yourself too lowly, but having an accurate view of self. I just think those are such great handles to help us understand this biblical notion of humility. Humility to me is a really interesting thing because I've realized on more than one occasion, it is really hard to identify when you see it in someone. You'll have this interaction with them, and in that conversation, you'll walk away going, man, there was something very winsome, something that really drew me to them, but I can't put my finger exactly on what. And with a little reflection, you'll come back to the fact that they demonstrated these 2 ideas of humility. Number 1, they didn't think overly about themselves. They understood the reality of who they were. But secondly, they deeply valued you. Now, and that's a powerful part of this idea of really the passage from Philippians 2. Not just don't think too highly of yourself, think highly of others. Think well of them and put them ahead of yourself. So would you today, as you consider this passage, have that attitude of mind? And as you'll see in tomorrow's Devo, all of this flows from the person of Jesus.